If you are close to retirement or recently retired, you can't afford to miss this commercial. What if I told you one of the biggest dangers to running out of money in retirement was a risk you've never heard of before? If you've never heard of sequence of return risk, please check out the trailer at sequenceofreturnrisk.com. And remember, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
Special edition! Podcast, Trump Report, Tim Picciott. I just saw he did a live Facebook, kind of summarized a bunch of the stuff that we've been covering for a couple of years. And put into a package. I had to go down to the airport for the Freedom Summit and picking up, some of our speakers and shuttling them around. And I, listening to, Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and all that, see what they had to say. Tim did it better. Better. It's stuff that we've been covering for a long time. I don't think they really know how to put it into a narrative of, because they're always still there to protect the state. It's just who's in charge of it. And I'm going, no. All right, so we're going to go through the Fisa memo, FBI memo threatening the release of the memo, and it's released. All right, so we're going to go to Tim Picciott, the Liberty Advisor. All right, Tim, real quick, man. Skip to the end and give me the chronology and timeline of what happened and the important facts thereof.
All right, so welcome, everybody. It's Tim Picciott, the Liberty Advisor. And so if we go back to December 2016, all the news was Donald Trump wiretapped? And everyone's saying, he's crazy. Of course, nobody wiretapped him. Well, it's come out that, yes, he was wiretapped. And why was he wiretapped? Well, there was a Fisa warrant. Let's back it up. Why was there a Fisa warrant? Well, there was this dossier. And then you've got to ask yourself, how did this dossier come about? And how it came about was there was $160,000 that the DNC and Hillary's campaign paid to a law firm named Perkins Coie. And then you have to back it up and say, well, let's go dig a little bit. Let's follow the money. What's Perkins Coie? What are they all about? Well, they then paid the firm Fusion GPS through the spy, Christopher Steele, to then basically come up with this dossier. And then one of Steele's main contacts in the Department of Justice was this guy named Bruce Orr. And Bruce Orr said that Steele told him privately that they were desperate to basically get Donald Trump, stop him from getting elected at all costs. And then it gets a little bit deeper because Orr's wife also worked for Fusion GPS. And then you've got to then wonder, okay, well then who are the people making the recommendations to get this Fisa warrant in the first place? Number one that comes to mind would be James Comey. And then you take a look at some of his different, financial corruptions to all this stuff. His brother, Peter Comey, worked for the law firm D.L. Piper. Well, D.L. Piper was a top 10 campaign donor for Hillary, and they also do the taxes for the Clinton Foundation. I mean, you can't even make this up. And then who holds the mortgage on Peter Comey's house? It's his brother James, who's the one who has if he were to indict, the Clintons, he'd be also implicating his brother and also be SOL for the mortgage on his house. And then it even gets deeper, like, okay, well, who are the other characters involved in basically recommending this Fisa memo? You got to look at guys like Andrew Mccabe. And Andrew Mccabe was the guy that just stepped down the other day right before he was set to basically collect his 20-year pension. And you got to take a look at his wife. So his wife received $500,000 from Terry McAuliffe, who was the former Virginia governor. He's from the same hometown as me, so unfortunately I've had to deal with this scumbag for a while. But he's a close Clinton confidant, longtime like money raiser. And so you've got, just conflicts of interest, coming out the wazoo from every angle. And this is all stuff that I rattled off, from memory off the top of my head. I didn't go spend 10 hours researching all this crap. And frankly, none of this that was in the memo, none of it surprised me. And I remember a year ago talking to Dr. Frank and you guys on air saying that, what was going on amounts to high treason. And, and not that you care, anyone in this audience might care about this anyway, because we all know that it's corrupt. But in a nutshell, that's what's going on. I mean, we're changing the culture here of people finally realizing, oh, wait, the Department of Justice would lie to me? The FBI would spy on its own citizens? I can't believe that. When
all right. Let me clear up a couple
that.
Things here. One, the Bruce Orr character, what's his role? What position does he have?
I don't have the notes right in front of me, but I think he's one of the top guys at the Department of Justice.
So he's in the DOJ.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me kind of go through this as you were going, making notes here. They were talking about Trump after he was elected. Now, there was, I'm sure, a bunch of opposition research, and everybody did. And then he got elected, and they went, whoa, what the hell just happened? Because we even got into the Teneo thing yet, okay? Now, Teneo was a group done by Band. What was Band's first name? Mike?
Doug.
I'm sorry,
Doug.
what? Doug. Doug Band is kind of the body servant to Bill Clinton. He's like this Uma Abedin, okay? Now, that didn't go. Uma Abedin's husband is Wiener that, got, convicted of, making too nice with children and dick pics and whatever the hell else he was doing. But he also kept all of the emails that would go to Uma. They would split off and be replicated on his, iPad or something. And so there was a whole bunch of evidence there. Then we had the,
which was covered up, and they wanted to withhold that until after the election. So let's just throw that out there too.
Yeah, well, no, all that's coming. It's all part of. So I mean, this is just tip of the iceberg. We haven't even talked about that. We haven't talked about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, which is a continuing congresswoman from Florida, I think, and she was head of the DNC. So the head of the DNC, they were doing deals and paying for this dossier. At the same time, she had some Pakistani intelligence double agent of family.
The Awan brothers.
Yeah, making all kinds of money on a bunch of stuff, and had access to all of the re-election and campaigns of the Democrats for Congress and, all the secrets thereof.
They're Pakistani spies, yeah.
Yeah, so, we hadn't even hardly talked about that. That's kind of, that's next, okay? Now, during all of this, the real question was, did they have surveillance of Trump before he was elected? That's not even brought up. That's not what this is about. This is after he got elected. They went, hell no. We got to have a path to impeachment like right away. We got to make up something. This shall not stand. It can't stand. What the hell do we just don't give up. They have to get, they, them, those, whoever, the deep state.
The insurance policy to get them out. Like Chuck Schumer said, we've got 7 ways to Sunday. The intelligence agencies due to get back at you, so I'd be careful. I'd watch it.
Yeah, well, what they were trying to do is they were trying to intimidate him. They're trying to get him to do whatever the hell he's going to do. Well, some of the things that he did, what does he pick? Well, okay, all right, we'll give more money to military, industrial, whatever, and we'll let the generals go. You guys want to go play war? Be general and go play war and take responsibility for it. Not my problem. We'll do whatever. I'll have a tweet war with, Kim Young grandson. And then we'll, so see all these things that he's doing, and, Jerusalem is the new capital, and we got Israel on the side. We got this and that and tax cut. And he's playing the game. You guys do whatever the hell you're going to do. But, I am not playing the game on whatever it is. All this information, this FISA court and the memo, that's coming out. All right. So it seems like he's been walking towards this whole time and letting Mueller, hang himself.
Rope-a-dope.
Yeah. Just let them do all, and there'll be a big cover-up, and we'll expose it. So this is about a FISA court. We need to wiretap after he got elected. This is during the transition time. Now, before that, did he have surveillance? Of course he did. I mean, they wouldn't do that. That'd be wrong. I mean, of course they did. Well, Is that what, they're talking about? No, that may come up, whether he did or not, but what they have record of, and they got like FBI whistleblowers or people on the inside, and they're kind of, there's a battle between whatever. So what we're talking about is somebody went to the Department of Justice for them or the FBI or somebody to come up with the evidence that we need to have a judge on the FISA court. Yep, I'm a rubber stamp of, do all the surveillance on all things Trump. So you had
America.
Him and any and everybody associated with, and kind of Tillerson and General Flynn of doing, talking to, and how do you think they knew all this stuff? And he was just doing his job. He's just talking. So I'm going, all right. So it's the Obama administration, Department of Justice, Holder, Lynch, the guy, whoever the hell, and they're all got their fingerprints on this entire thing. Now, the reason is so they could get leverage on Trump because he had already been elected. So it's not just him, any and everybody. These five, because this goes back to the Clinton administration in the mid-'90s when Hillary and Bill got Congress's FBI files into the White House. I mean, put them in a box and you carry them to the White House. Okay, done. Got them. Read them. Do them. Copy them. It's ours now. So this has been the control mechanism they've had for a long time. The one thing that they can do, and then we got this Trump thing about porn stars, and then she says she didn't, and they did. Don't care. I was like, wow. So they're slinging mud as much as they can.
Wait, billionaires sleep with porn stars? I don't believe it.
Yeah,
can I real quickly read over Bruce? I just Googled Bruce Orr, and apparently he sits on the board for the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime. And prior to that, he was the chief of the organized crime and racketeering section.
Oh, well, hell, he's right in the middle of it there.
Yeah. So just
yeah, it's like all these guys are going after, child porn and whatever, and hell, they got it on their computer, and they're freaking scumbags from the begin with. So all these guys, whatever department that we're going to, truth, justice, American way, and they're, freaking communists. So this is, what I'm glad you went through this, but my point is that the only thing we're talking about is not before the election. It's since he was elected. He is president of the United States of America, elect. They go to a FISA court. We need to do all this surveillance and everything on him. Okay, what evidence you got? Oh, because we say. We're buds. Peace. Okay. What they don't tell him is that it was a made-up dossier that was paid for. The Clinton Foundation, DNC, whatever, pays the these law firms to where they are the ones that are, you find out they're doing the taxes for the Clinton Foundation. They're, know the boys of this and they're buddies with that. And Fusion GPS is Wall Street Journal reporters that are that we know a guy and get a guy that has a guy. Well, they make all this stuff up. They paid for by, the Clinton and friends. It goes to the FBI. They take it to FISA or DOJ or whoever the hell was doing it. They go to the FISA court. They get a warrant, and they start surveilling the president-elect to take him down. This is like treason stuff, making up whatever they got to do to get rid of him and maintain the deep state that they fear he's going to go after.
This is the attempted overthrow of an incumbent and now sitting U.S. president. And so when I was saying
before he even got sworn in.
When I was saying this is high treason, and like Dr. Frank sort of it was kind of even laughed it off. No, I knew exactly what I was talking about. This is high treason. It's like a big exclamation point in everything we've been talking about, and it's not because I think that the Republicans and I love them and they're going to save America. It's that this is how much more proof do you need that we live in this corrupt police state, banana republic that everything is in the name of security when really it's insecurity, and it's really this whole police state is meant, and NSA is meant to basically wrap everybody in this big control grid where they can frame you, blackmail you, set you up, get you 7 ways to Sunday.
Yeah, as president. We want the deep state bribing presidents. We got tapes of presidents. I'm like, this is bad, man.
I mean, they wouldn't do that to, Chief Justice John Roberts to get his vote to switch on the healthcare vote. I mean, I bet they wouldn't do that either.
Or kill Scalia or nothing like that. That'd be wrong.
That'd be bad.
So here we have the Mccabe guy. Now, who's Mccabe? He was a deputy director. He's like the second in command at the FBI at the time.
Yeah, and I think he then became in command. I'm not 100% sure because this was all from memory after Comey stepped down. But I believe when he first came on board, Trump had asked him, like, well, are you on my team? And then they're like, oh, you've got a U.S. president who's now obstructing justice because he's asking him if he's on his team. Well, because Trump is smart enough to know that this is all a bunch of weasels that are trying to overthrow a U.S. president. So, they're trying to make it seem like he's somehow obstructing justice by acting this way. And then you've got another guys like Rosenstein who, it's like all the top guys at the FBI. So it's not like everybody in the FBI is bad, but if you look at the top, let's say 30, I mean, they're on
no, they filled up the top as much as they could. Now, Mccabe, what gives him some concern is that once the Congress had a committee or Congress voted to release him, whoa, and I'm out of here. Why? Because his wife, got $500,000 for, she had a campaign. Wasn't she running for office or something?
Yeah, she was running in Virginia. I'm not exactly sure what she was running for. But
so these guys, it's an incestuous relationship, a house of cards thing. I mean, it's like you want to bring Kevin Spacey back, to show just how much of a scumbag they're scum of scum. What, him being a scumbag means he can't play scumbags now or something? I'm like, hell, you
made him better.
Yeah, sign him up. I want to have, Trump, the movie, and, Kevin Spacey gets to play somebody, put some platform shoes on him, and he can be Comey. So Comey is coming out and tweeting, and I don't like it and whatever.
You got Bible verses, justice shall flow as the rivers, whatever.
Yeah, that's all BS. Yeah. Well, Comey was, supposed to have this great rep and everything, and if they got a great rep in Washington, I mean, how you get a great rep and be in Washington? Because you got great good PR or something. I don't know. So
play for both sides.
All right. So I wanted to just get this in. So we have Trump being wiretapped with FISA court warrants during the transition after he was elected. That's what this thing's about, right?
Yeah, and even Alex Jones was wiretapped as well as part of all this stuff because some people. This came out like a little while ago, but. They released, I think, over 500 different names and numbers, and they had Trump's, personal Mar-a-Lago residence. They had private numbers that Alex Jones says he never gives out, that they had those on the list, too. So, it was like the entire network of influential people that they were wiretapping basically everybody to get dirt to overthrow a sitting, because this messes up everything. This messes up everything for the globalists. You had, you've got the TPP that was stopped. You've got, basically everything was all ready to be sewn up, tied together to send this country down the shithole forever. And basically Trump effed up their entire plans. Not that, you and I are obviously in agreement that, it doesn't matter if Jesus or Ron Paul was elected. You're not going to stop, I think, all this stuff that's already baked into the cake. And that's where a lot of Republicans who have kind of got this wrong and now are super optimistic. But at least now all this shows that all this corruption is out there on display, and it's bipartisan corruption. And everybody wanted Hillary Clinton in, including the Republicans, because they were all going to benefit from all this corruption that happens on both ends, and they all know it's dirt. So if you've got a bunch of dirt and you're a Republican, well, then you're going to be hesitant to go after the Democrats because you know that they have dirt on you, vice versa. So when people are talking about, well, she had all these investigations and she's clean. Well, BS. You've got the fox guarding the hen house in every single respect.
Yeah, this is not going to go well for they, them, those. But I'm wondering, now you see why during all of this for the past 2.5 years that we've been covering this, that I go, I'm just waiting for the movie. How else are you going to entwine this? This is like The Big Short. You got to pick some primary characters. You get the narration from one of the from what's his name, Bannon or something. Braden, his son. What's his son's name? Braden.
Whose son?
Trump. Him and Melania's son. What's his name?
Barron.
Barron.
Old.
Yeah, you gotta get somebody. It's going to be. I say, what I saw, the world according to Barron. Something that's on the sidelines, kind of watching. What's his other daughter's name? Twiggy or something? The younger one. What's her name? Crap, I can't remember. The younger.
Yeah.
The blonde.
Drive me nuts. Yeah, I know exactly who you're thinking.
Yeah, whatever. If I hadn't have said a name, you probably would have remembered. But anyway, so these are, Tiffany. It's got to be somebody's, perspective. that it's kind of on the sidelines. It's seeing like, holy crap. And then it's going to be an awesome movie to see Trump's reaction to this. How he goes, I don't get mad, I just tweet. Okay? So it has been phenomenal that he has been able to keep certain things in the headlines or certain focuses or limelights on subjects or, lying Hillary or whatever the hell that he can do with tweet. And if he didn't have that, and that's why those in the media, they didn't want, you're not going to be unpresidential and like talk directly to American people and like direct them and show them what we don't want them to see, are you? That would be like, wrong. We don't like it. So this has been, as this is all coming out, what I did not anticipate, this is what I didn't know. All this I kind of knew, we knew, whatever. You put it all together, we knew it was going to be a big blow up. What I didn't know was one thing, was that we were talking about a FISA court surveillance after he got elected. I thought, man, they'd start right away. I'm sure they probably did, but this is just talking about from the time he was elected. Right?
Yeah, I'd say it's unbelievable, but it's completely believable to anybody probably listening to you and I that this audience.
It just took me aback. I'm going wait. I can see that they would start early and about this Trump guy. We don't know. We can rationalize and justify and do and whatever. But what they're talking about is FISA memo and I think 2 or 3 extensions of it from the time he got elected. The American people picked him, and then they're going after a president-elect. And I'm going, what, you didn't have enough reason before? Hell, he's running for president of the United States of America. He was the Republican nominee, and you wait till after he got elected to do it. What the hell is that? I mean, it's bad enough before, so I'm going, whoa, freaking whoa. This is like, third world developing countries with shiny ties and stuff.
Can we make one other quick comment? Just it's I don't know, say funny, but the Dow Jones fell 666 points today.
As if anybody cares. Well,
yeah.
That's another thing is General Electric. They're going to delist them as part of the Dow, and that's what a lot of people don't know is that they keep changing who's in the Dow. It doesn't mean anything. Hell, there's only 20% of the same companies from 20, 30 years ago. Who gives a crap? That don't mean tell me nothing, So it's just some index. It don't mean squat to me. So
all the paper, it's a window dressing. Is what they call it. They make it look better than what it really is because like, okay, you're AIG and you're down the shithole. Well, okay, we'll just throw you off the index and we'll put Goldman Sachs in there because we're going to give them all the government money from your bailout. Or, this goes on constantly. I'm shocked.
Well, this is all right. So, what's the next step? Who's going to jail? What's the buzz? Who's going to prosecute? Oh, Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy says, and I'm done. I want to go back in the criminal law. Well, does that mean like Sessions is out and he's going to be AG?
I was thinking that maybe is he setting himself up for that, or he's just. I'm sure it takes a really big toll on you and your family life being in that position that he's in, and who knows, maybe he's just burnt out from it. And Washington's a very bad place to be if you're an honest guy trying to actually do some good, because that's not what people are there in Washington to do.
Well, it's going to be President Trump is going to do a command appearance of the king has summoned you to the chamber of whatever,
yep.
And he's going to go, hey man, I need your help. I mean, if you want to do, I've been setting up to this, and I've been playing the game, and we knew, and kind of, and don't think I'm as stupid as these guys think. I teed it up for you, man. You ready? You got your driver? You want to take it home? And he'll go, yes, and then boom, his car blows up.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Sessions is over here just trying to bust a bunch of low-level marijuana offenders, and guess what? I mean, if you want to lose in 2020, why don't you keep going ahead with that strategy, because it's absolutely like shocking to me that somebody can be that dumb that in the year 2018 you're going after low-level marijuana offenders when you've got all this stuff that we've just laid out for the past 20 minutes on display, and you're choosing the battle to go after somebody smoking a doob as opposed to somebody trying to overthrow your boss. So I mean, the priorities are just absolutely insane. But hopefully Trump has a strategy that he's already 10 steps ahead of us and already knows what he's going to do for all this stuff. But but then it makes you question, it makes you wonder, well, how come he approved certain NSA spying, not I don't know all the details of it, but I don't see any calls to roll back the NSA. I don't see any calls to roll back FISA warrants. I don't see any of these calls to do it. And they'll probably have some false flag terrorist attack with Bitcoin to kill two birds with one stone coming here soon to try to shut down, take the heat off this, because this. And I haven't listened to any news today. I haven't listened to anybody. I just made them myself. So I can only imagine the spin that CNN and all these other characters have on this right now, because this is shocking news, and they're, I'm sure, going to paint this as a bunch of Republicans who have a vendetta or going to be made up this memo, and I know they already tried to leak their other them being the Democrats.
Yeah, they're not digging it, whatever it is, and I don't know what they're going to do. And of course they're, going to poo-poo it, and it doesn't matter, and they're deflect and mushroom clouds or whatever the hell they got to do to try and,
North Korea.
Yeah, something. But even with North Korea, all of a sudden you got Kim Jong grandson going arm in arm with, South Korea in the Olympics of, we're done. You don't need to nuke us, so we're making progress here.
Rex Tillerson's like, I don't care. I need a bomb. I need to bomb somebody while I'm in there. Or Mattis, both of those guys. They need their 20 pounds of flesh somewhere.
Well, I'm wondering if this is a tactic of Trump, that he secretly sent Dennis Rodman to go negotiate or whatever. I mean, you don't know. He does not operate in traditional manners. But it's it's kind of like what Reagan did. That's what made Reagan so effective. Is he just decided what he wanted to do, and he just went straight to the American people, say, hey, yo, what's up? I want to do this. Tell them, and he doesn't even have to have a speech or take the time. He does it in a 140-character tweet. I'm going, wow, this is awesome. I don't know how dangerous it can be doing this kind of, thing, but it's definitely different. And it's not allowing the same people that's been able to control this in the past to have this monopoly, hegemonic, unilateral, we decide, it's our decision, control above the president kind of thing. Not that I want to give president that kind of, I don't care. But this is just exposing it for what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and sum it up for us. Without going to this is all of these things that you're hearing here is stuff that we've been covering for the past couple of years. But the one thing we found out right before the election was Teneo. Now, I definitely want to touch on that a little bit, but go ahead and give your narrative real quick in the order of stuff. Now, it starts off with a FISA warrant request to surveil everything after Trump gets elected. That's what surprised me. I'm going, what, they didn't have one before? Well, probably, of course they did. But, that's not what we're talking about here. After. I mean, damn, after. All right, go. Walk us through it real quick.
All right, so we got the FISA warrant. That came about from the dossier. The dossier came about from a $160,000 that the DNC and Hillary paid to a law firm called Perkins Cole. Perkins Cole then turned around and gave that money to Fusion GPS. One of the top guys at Fusion GPS, his wife, one of the top guys at Fusion GPS, his main contact in the Department of Justice was this guy Bruce Orr. Bruce Orr's wife used to work for Fusion GPS. They were all desperate in their own quotes that they did not want Donald Trump to get elected and do anything to make sure he didn't. And then you got the people who have financial ties to all this stuff, and the people who actually approved or recommended these warrants were James Comey and Mccabe. And then you've got Comey, whose brother works for the law firm D.L. Piper, who were a top 10 campaign donor to Hillary. And then they also do the taxes for the Clinton Foundation. And by the way, James Comey has the mortgage on his brother's house in Virginia. So, if anything bad happens to his brother, well then he's kind of SOL on his mortgage. And then with Mccabe, I don't know if it's even worse, but you've got, his wife is running for, I'm not sure the exact position, but she's running for a high office in Virginia. And he was given by $500,000 from Terry McAuliffe's PAC. And Terry McAuliffe is like one of the biggest bundlers. I think he's the the Virginia of no, he's the governor of Virginia now, but he's a longtime Clinton associate. He's been a long time. He's probably like right next to Doug Band in terms of like being Bill Clinton's Huma Abedin. I mean, he's been their right hand gopher for as long as I can remember because he's from my hometown, so I've heard his name been thrown around for a long time there. So it's just, I mean, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. Each one of these things you could go down a rabbit hole of probably write an entire book on. And this is just stuff that's basically off the top of my head, not really formulating other other data points, because this goes way deeper. And thank God this is coming out now. And if nothing else, I mean, people at this point, and especially libertarians, have to realize, guys like Nick Sarwark will talk about, Trump is just like everybody else, or he's the same, or he's also a globalist, or he's part of the system. Like, bullshit. I mean, you cannot say after seeing all how he's been operating the past year that the globalists want that this is like their plan, or that he's some sort of puppet. And there's a lot of criticisms I have for Trump, a lot of stuff that I could go over, but I see him being attacked basically 7 ways to Sunday from every single angle and all this bullshit. And so, so now I'm not, attacking him as much because, the economic data that, we've gone over, a million times is all rigged or fake, and they want to stand on their high horse about, black unemployment, but the fact is, 40% of the blacks aren't even in the labor force to begin with, and then that's not even including the ones that are in jail. So, all these numbers are rigged, and, rambling at this point. So that's, everything wrapped up in a nice little bow of all the corruption going on here.
All right. Well, there's a lot more corruption.
Some of the corruption going on.
Yeah. Well, I saw you kind of dumping on Nick Sarwark, the National Chair of the Libertarian Party, that's here, because he at a party we were at one time, he just really dissed on Trump and pissed him off. That was just that. There was fighting words, and that. Yeah. Whatever. All right.
Well, actually, there's a big Facebook group right now that I'm a part of. That somebody told me about this one libertarian guy named Jason Stapleton, who has got a pretty big following. I haven't listened to his stuff too much, but I joined this group, and somebody posted an article yesterday, and actually I think I saw James Babb and Jay Noon also post similar things, where apparently Ron Paul got denied. I think it was the Mises caucus of the Libertarian Party tried to get Ron Paul to speak there, and the LNC denied it and said we want nothing to do with Ron Paul. Is basically the short version of the story. And so now on this group are probably a lot of I would say Trump voting libertarians, and they're all talking about what a joke the LP is, and the LP is dead, and there's no reason to even become a libertarian. And these are libertarians who are saying this. Mind you. So now Jay Noon's like, well, maybe we can go rent out a ballroom and have our own party with Ron Paul and fundraise for it. I'm like, maybe we just come up with a party and call it not the Libertarian Party, and then just do it. But it's not a winning strategy from the Nick Sarwark and friends, and they want to stand their high horse talking about how they got 4% and it's the best toll ever. Well, the only reason he did that is because everyone hated, except for me, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And, it was just a protest vote from the other side. And so I don't think it's anything to do with Gary Johnson or a super well-run campaign from, the LNC. And just the strategy, is not going to be a winning strategy. And if there's ever a time for the Libertarian Party to step up, it would have been the last go-around. And so they should be ashamed of their 4% instead of taking a victory lap. And it's only because guys like Ron Paul, gave awareness to what the Libertarian Party was to begin with. And now to shun him, it's just stupid.
Oh no, they're not. Far from being stupid. Well, there's a plan. There's another plan. I don't know if you didn't.
Bill Weld.
Yeah, didn't you pick this up? I mean, I kept telling him. I go, look, he's going to run for president. Nah, that'll never happen, Ernie. You're on crack. You don't know what. I go, yeah. Well, now they're starting to see that. Oh, you didn't hear about this. They had this film done by. It was kind of a documentary that was done about.
Yeah, I saw it being advertised where it had like Larry Sharp in it, and they were here last week to promote it. And
well, they're also at Sundance trying to do a Sundance in Sundance at during Sundance, but it's not really Sundance, but so we can say Sundance and whatever it was. And then are you running for president? And then it goes, I am Gary Johnson. It's part of the campaign. Some weird thing. Well, the big deal is that. I'm sitting here. I'm texting number to one of our speakers tonight. He just called and he's like stuck at something. So what they did is found out that guy that produced that is some pedophile or something. They make a big deal out of it, and Weld was kind of defending them or something.
Yeah, I saw Kokesh posting about that.
Well, that's what started it, but then it became like a thing, and they started so it's the same old same. I go, God, what did you think was going to happen? This is not going well. So I'm looking at them, the Mises guys, and they're got plenty to be pissed off about, And I'm like I said, you need to go to New Orleans. It's going to be entertainment. I mean,
yeah, I'll see. I've got a wedding in New York that same week from one of my cousins. So I seem to run it by my wife, who's already mad at me for.
No. It's not going to be worth that. But I mean, you never know. It's kind of.
No. But some interesting things going down is I did a podcast with Adam Kokesh, a few months ago, and I brought up some of the things that I was disgruntled over, Nick with about, and he was really critical of me and saying, hey, this is completely unfounded, and I think everything you're saying about Nick, doesn't really hold any water. And then now he's like 10 times more ferocious than I was.
And who's this?
Adam Kokesh. So he was upset that I was criticizing Nick Starrock a few months ago, and then now he's criticizing him 10 times harder than I was. So I'm like, glad to have you on the team over here. Yeah, because he was doing, I don't know, I guess there's all sorts of things. A lot of it had to do with the documentary and pedophiles and people saying that Kokesh shouldn't even run at the top levels of the LP, and I don't care. We've got much bigger fish to fry right now with everything we just talked about for the past half an hour.
Yeah, no, if the Libertarian Party comes out with "we'll rule you better," seriously, I mean, that's what they're counting on. They're going to be we understand the left and we know how to balance a checkbook, so let us be, in charge of you. I don't see how this is. I just want to go for the entertainment. We're going to go to New Orleans. It's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot. It's going to be humid and hot. And I'm going to just, I'm just going to be all sweaty with beads and stuff. And how many, shots can I do? I don't care. I'm just going to have some fun this time. And if they don't have someone up there saying it, I mean, I'll get up and say it. I've plenty of different ways I can say and run for it and say and support and speech and endorse and say I'll say. Because we'll print out a bunch of crap and put them or be all pirates and stuff in New Orleans. But
now, is this Nick running for re-election?
Yes, he's going to run for re-election. And there's other guys. There's been a lot of pressure for me to do it, but I'm like, nah, I'd rather somebody else do it if somebody's going to say the things that I've been saying for a decade, 2 decades. Just no compromise, and the Libertarian. The party is a resource for the individual low-level go-kick-ass activist. I mean, that's all you need. I mean, the decentralized nature of the Levolution was what made it, what it is, have a good standard. Well, they don't want to have Ron Paul come up and set a standard. They don't want to, I don't know what the hell they want to do, but they want to get Weldon is what they want to do. So this is, I don't know if you know this, Adam Kokesh at the Arizona State Convention got 86% of the delegates to national.
No, I did not know that, but I did text with him after he got out of right after he got out of jail, and he had mentioned something about me needing to go down to New Orleans to make sure we depose Nick and so on.
I don't care about Nick. Nick's is better than most. That's not my point. My point is that you can be really good and run and kind of to do what? Get Weld next. I mean, because they're just all about the money now, or vote totals, or something that doesn't matter. They go, we'll never, it's kind of like with the exponential growth of just an attitude and opinion and any technology, they'll go, 20 years to do the human genome. Well, they were, I don't know, halfway through that, they were 1% done. Well, they go, at this rate, you'll never, well, you do all the base research, you got all the base information, you got all the base, and then all of a sudden it goes exponential and it doubles, every year, and boom, 2 years later you're done. So this is where we're at.
Now you spend $83 and send it into 23andMe and get your whole analysis done when it used to cost like $1 billion.
Exactly.
Now I'll give it to Google, and they can take care of it.
Yeah, a gig of memory in the '60s cost what? Millions of dollars, and now it's like 30 cents. So this is they're thinking stinking.
1 megabyte blocks.
I'm sorry.
1 megabyte blocks. I mean, we can't get any bigger than 1 megabyte.
Well, that's another thing. There's so much stuff we can go on about, but the exponential realization of people in general around the planet, and certainly America, is that, man, this whole government thing is jacked up, and there's not a damn thing that. Who do we got here? We got the Clinton Foundation, Podesta and Friends, which is a whole nother slew of scumbags.
Didn't even go down that rabbit hole.
Then we have Teneo, which is, a band, which is the guy that was the servant to Bill Clinton, creates a company that, you give me $500,000 here and you get FaceTime there, and kind of going to do a business that they want to do an IPO. This is, we find out in the Wall Street Journal in October or September before the election. They come up and they said, we're going to be going public after Hillary's president. We're going to go do an IPO in February of 17, that they were going to take corruption public. And, you invest in us and you make much money. Well, that's a lot of these guys were promised that. That's what they were so freaked out about. Not only were they, all their money went away, oh, by the way, they're probably going to go to jail. So they're just, freaked. We got to get us some Trump. So the Teneo thing was just be listed on New York Stock Exchange as corruption or us. So I'm going, damn. So all of this stuff is, people are going to see just how bad this is, and I gotta, probably wait at least a few years for the movie.
Yeah, but then you've got the other half who think that, this is all just some big Republican ruse and it's made up, and so, yeah. So, I mean, you've got the CNN crowd, and so it's going to be very interesting to see how all this plays out. But this election was for all the marbles, and that's why I didn't think it was like a normal election. That's why, I said I would never vote Republican again, and I pretty much took 2 months off work to, be a little straw on the camel's back to help break the Clinton machine. And again, I have a lot of problems with Donald Trump, but if this can help bring down the entire power structure and get people to see that government is not your friend, and that all these different things can actually go on today, and I think and then it's worth it. In everything I don't like. Yeah, about Trump that was 10 times worse, anyways.
That was a big concern I had. All the work that we've been doing on this is, I'm going, look, man, my biggest fear is that Trump's going to get elected and go see it work, and I go, oh, it didn't work. It's like.
And that happened. That's why you got the Dow Jones at 25,000, because everybody thinks it's a new day for America and problem solved, and just bring it back to everything we talked about last time I was in the studio. Well, then again, I guess not today, because you got the Dow down 666 points today. But
today,
yeah,
it was good that they did it. If it's going to go, when should it go? When they release the memo.
Right after a blue moon.
Yeah, what? Yeah, right. A super duper blue moon, or whatever the hell it was. Okay, so now we have, what are we looking at? 665 points. Damn. That's a chunk, man. I mean, still it's at 25.5, which, it
meant a lot more when it was at 14,000 when it first. It was my first day on the job was like the day it was down like 600 and something points, September 2008. And it's funny because now I'm like, here I am trying to start the new deal, and it's down 600. So yes, every time I'm moving around, it's when everything gets all effed up. It's kind of funny. Actually, all three of the times now that I think about it, the first time was September 2008, and then I left again right as like the movie The Big Short was coming out, and then like everything went down like for like 2 months, and then here I am leaving again, and things are going down. So I just need to.
Well, see, what you're doing is you're restructuring based on the future economy, the worldwide global. Will not last, and right when you're making the the pitch and you did your application to be not part of their machine anymore, they got to ask permission to leave and then pay a fine. As you're doing that, it goes. They're going, Tim, how'd you know, man? You're not allowed to leave. You got to answer some questions and come and, and report too.
No, you laugh, but yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of flack over here. And right now I'm just trying to set up my whole email capturing system so that way I'm in compliance. And because I've got to get that set up, and then, a few other pieces of client information I need to handle, and then I'll be ready to leave here. But yeah, they were telling me, oh yeah, we could probably get this done for you by the 19th. I'm like, the 19th? I applied for this like the beginning of January, and I first sent an email trying to do this right around Christmas time. So I mean, it's just amazing how long it takes, because they're just dragging their feet on this.
Wow.
But we're moving fast, and the goal is in Acapulco, and we are getting there. And I've got everything, basically 95% done to launch there. Got the PowerPoint done, got the speech done. We're ready to rock and roll. So look forward to seeing you down there.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I got we're got the Freedom Summit tonight. I'm going. I got to get ready like now. Leave in 45 minutes or so. And going down, have dinner. We're going to have Judge John Buttrick is going to speak. Dr. Singer's going to speak. And Jeffrey Tucker, is tonight, the 3 speakers for dinner. And I'm going, okay, that's cool. Let's see what they have to say. Well, then tomorrow, is going to be a whole slew of guys. And I'm wondering, this Trump thing, is it going to come up? Or probably not. Not much. Don't care. But it's, I'm looking for what the people learn from this, and having Dr. Frank and Tamburi and you, Tim Picciott, coming on and us talking about it. And as always, comes by Tarzan Keith and some of the other guests that we've had. Hell, we've even had Roger Stone on the Trump report. And this is, I'd say, someone that really knew, that understood the spin on this, the PR and how this would be used. Get me Roger Stone. He's having fun with this. So if we get out of this with bad guys going to jail and all, and the system finally worked, there could be worse things. But I'm just like, I don't want it to be the system worked and then nobody went to jail, or it's a half-assed thing, or they didn't really fix anything. And I'm going, that would be the worst scenario. It's like, yep, we cleaned the swamp. It's all good now. Don't worry about it. And nothing really happened. That'd be the worst outcome.
Chelsea 2020 with Oprah.
Yeah, no, Oprah. That was one thing. Frank was really worried that Oprah again. I go, no, that's not a possibility.
Look at Kennedy. Kennedy, they got this Joseph Kennedy, who's the answer to Donald Trump. Well, what are all the criticisms of Trump, that he was a spoiled rich guy who inherited a bunch of money and wants to build a wall. Well, the Kennedys have got a huge wall around their compound, and he inherited a bunch of money from his great grandfather, who is this whiskey smuggler. Back in the Prohibition. So I mean, it's just funny that and then Oprah. Oprah. Yeah, we can't have a billionaire TV star, and now the answer to Trump is another billionaire TV star. So how these people do not understand the hypocrisy and the optics, and you've got people like Miley Cyrus coming out with like a white rose and saying "Me Too," and meanwhile she's on stage, topless with dildos, running around, trying to act like she's like Mother Teresa, over Trump. And you've got guys like Jay-Z talking about, they're just, they can't fathom the things that Trump would say. And there's videos of Jay-Z like smacking women and all this other stuff. So,
yeah, but Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson's going to be at the Super Bowl again. Woo! Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, I was so pissed that I missed that like 10 years ago when I don't know, whenever it was. I was playing poker during halftime and missed all that.
Yeah, it was. You have to really slow it down. It was stage performance of whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And she had like a pasty on anyway, and they went through the whole crap. And oh my god. Well, this year I think they're talking about Janet coming up again. With Justin Timberlake. That'd be awesome. But of course they wouldn't. I don't know. I don't care. I'm like there's such a reduced enthusiasm for the Super Bowl this year, then I'm like, it's Patriots again. And I picked up Taj Major and his girlfriend today at the airport, and he's from Philadelphia, so they're all pumped up, man. They got to get back in time for the game, So it's, and then, of course, Sunday, it's going to be Patriots at Mark J. Victor's house. He's all patrioted up, and Donna doesn't want to go. She wants to go with the fan. I think I'll stop by because I've missed a bunch of games this year with them, so we'll go there. And the Vikings aren't in, so that was kind of my team when I was a kid. So I guess I can kind of be ambivalent.
Yeah, my team growing up was always the Eagles until I ran into Donovan McNabb out here 2 years ago randomly and told him like, hey man, just want to let you know that big fan. I grew up in Syracuse because he played for Syracuse. When I was like 10 years old, you were kind of the man. And also want to let you know that my cousin's on the team right now as a walk-on, and I only have one NFL jersey, and it's yours. And just mind if I got a quick picture with you? He's like, no, not doing pictures. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I have one NFL player's jersey, and it's yours, and I can't even. And I'm from the same place that you played at, and I'm running into you 3,000 miles away from there at a bar, and I can't get a picture. And he's like, no. So ever since then, I've not watched a single Eagles game since then, and my wife's a Patriots fan from Connecticut. So.
Wow. I guess if he did, then there'd be 15 billion people do it or bug.
Well, here's the other thing.
Maybe he made a deal with the people that he was out to dinner with or something.
Well, here's the other deal: is that he was wearing like basically a complete highlighter uniform. So highlighter shorts, highlighter like the highlighter color, just like sticking out like you wouldn't believe. And he was at a Mexican bar on Cinco de Mayo, and you've got 5, 6'7" black guys and a bunch of white people around, and he's wearing a highlighter outfit. So. If he wanted to, be camouflaged, he definitely
highlighter.
Wouldn't
What's
do
a
it.
highlighter? What do you mean highlighter?
Like that, like bright yellow, like if you have like a highlighter, like maybe
So it wasn't like he was
Baylor
trying,
uniform.
So it wasn't like he was trying to blend or anything.
Like almost like that, like reflective stuff that cyclists wear to make sure cars don't hit you. Is what he was wearing.
All right. Well, he messed with the wrong guy. Now you got a microphone, and you you be pissed off. They'll learn him.
Yeah, go have fun with your fifth DUI tonight. I don't know.
No, see, man, when you pile on.
No, well, my cousin, to be fair, said he's like, you know what, maybe, he just got like his third DWI, and he probably wasn't even supposed to be at a bar, so maybe that's why he didn't want to take the picture with you. But I was like, you know what, screw you. If it wasn't for your fans, you'd be nothing anyways. And I'll stop ranting because nobody probably cares at this point. So.
Don't get on Tim's bad side.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't get on Tim's bad side. Damn. All right. So thanks for coming on and doing this. We just did like under an hour or whatever here. Yeah, 50 minutes. Because I want to. I just wanted to get this in and have it for everybody to understand what the big deal is. For me, the big deal was the court ordered. FISA court-ordered surveillance, or allowed surveillance, was on a president-elect. I'm going, who in the hell runs this guy? And this is, an Obama administration, Hillary was still Secretary of State, I think. I don't know, maybe she wasn't. I don't know.
What difference does it make?
Yeah, I don't care. All this is going to come out, and and the thing that, like Tim would point out is that had Hillary Clinton won, all these guys would be in charge in the high positions, plus a bunch of others that got replaced. This would have gone really bad, but would that have been good? Would that have been, by a year after that and a couple of years, it would be, we're just going to have the one world order of we just signed over and it's done and get over it. And people went, we're done with all y'all. Well,
it would help pave the way for Adam Kokesh 2020 if he wasn't put into a FEMA camp.
Right. Well, see, they're going to, what, you think they're not going to surveil all of us? See, that's the only fear I have, is I'm going to be, all right, I want my FBI report at the end, like in East Germany, when it fell and it merged with West Germany, they went into all the records and they found out that they only had 10%, well, I mean, it's still a lot, 10% of the people had files. And everybody just thought everybody had a file, So I'm going to go and say, all right, I want to see my file. And they go, Ernie who? And I'm like, hey, man, what the hell I got to do here, So, it's so that's really my only concern is I don't get a file. That would suck.
I know. And the other funny part is they keep calling, like, Trump. I think Comey made a tweet the other day. I'm not looking at it right in front of me, but I wanted to get this in the show right now. But he made a reference to, guys like Joe McCarthy don't have streets named after him. Well, guess what? Joe McCarthy was going around calling everybody a Russian, just like you are. So yeah, if there's a Joe McCarthy, it's you, James Comey. And then the other part is they keep calling him a Nazi. Well, the Nazis were defeated by the Russians, and it's like, what? Like none of this. Like, are you either Russian or are you a Nazi? Because it was the Russians who defeated the Nazis. And like, it's like none of this makes any sense. You're going to be late to your thing, so I'll let you get going. And I wish I could come, but I've got too much stuff trying to get ready for this Anarchapulco.
Yeah, no, I'm hit. Hey, well, thanks for coming on, and let's get in this in, because I just want the people to, know what the chronology of this, and there's a lot more that's going to come from this. And I think Trump knew. And I think there was enough FBI guys that knew. I think.
There's good people within the system who, I'm sure have his
They
back.
haven't been empowered. They get killed. I mean, they got a trail of dead bodies like you wouldn't believe. Ask Seth Rich. So this is, they've been trying to keep that. Yeah, we didn't even got to the Seth Rich thing.
Or you end up like Michael Flynn, or you end up like Roger Stone, where they're trying to bleed him out through lawsuits, and they're coming after you. The machine doesn't like it. The machine's going to come after you. And yeah, so I'm probably the only certified financial planner out there putting this sort of info out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried coming after me.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be in a position to where they can't, and hopefully you're dissolving, doing whatever, and you're not going to allow them to come after you. But I mean, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, your wife is already wanting to slap you, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
one of the things. Get you out on here and let's talk about it, and freedom of, because that's one of the biggest protections I can offer anybody is just if you're going to be on the list, be on top of the list. It's safer there. All right, cool.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on. Peace, guys.
No problem. Later.
Bye.
One of the most important steps anyone can take in investing is figuring out how much risk they can handle. We use a tool called Riskalyze, which gives you a custom risk number between 0 and 100, with 100 being the riskiest asset you could have in your portfolio and 1 being the least. In 5 minutes, we can tell you what your risk number is, and if you'd like, we can arrange to also tell you how much risk is in your portfolio, as well as what the hidden internal fees are, dividends are. This is incredibly valuable information you'll want to help prepare for your retirement. We know that not everyone who does this will become clients, but if you found this useful, please share this on your social media feeds. If you want to find out how much risk is in your portfolio, please email info@focalpointwealth.com or please call 480-771-PLAN or 7526. Thank you. Are you interested in learning more about your Social Security options? If so, we may have the perfect tool for you. You can get started by clicking on the banner ad above or the link below. From there, you simply enter your basic information and spouse information if that applies. Next, enter your full retirement age benefit amount. Then, on the next screen, you can toggle your Social Security start date along with your spouse's to see how that affects your cumulative lifetime benefits. Finally, at the end, you will be able to see how much money you are potentially leaving on the table with your current selection. And if you'd like to schedule a free consultation where we can take a deeper dive into your Social Security options using the more advanced version of this tool, please leave your contact info on the final screen along with the best time to contact you. If you get to the end and don't want to be contacted, that's fine too, but we hope that if you found value in this tool, that you can share the page with a friend on your social media feeds to help spread the word. We appreciate you visiting our site, and we hope to earn your business someday. And remember, at Focal Point Wealth Management, your future is our focus. Over the last 9 years of my career as a financial planner, one common theme emerges amongst retirees. Tim, I wish I knew this information when I was starting out, because if I did, I would be in a much different place today. If you are a millennial or are close to one that you care about, please share millennialinvestorblog.com with them, whether it's learning the differences between an IRA and Roth IRA or the importance of saving early. We've got them covered. We also have a place for them to open up their own retirement accounts for as little as $5,000. If they want our help, we'd be more than happy to assist them, but if they want to do it on their own, then that's fine too. millennialinvestorblog.com, where millennials' future is our focus.